Ji-Hoon was still holding Zehra's hand as they stepped inside the elevator. The doors closed, sealing them away from the chaos of the lobby. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Zehra was simply staring at him. Her eyes were soft, thoughtful, almost overwhelmed. Ji-Hoon noticed. He glanced down at her. Ji-Hoon to Zehra, softly. "Are you okay?" She blinked, quickly nodding. Zehra, quiet. "Yes, I'm okay." But her gaze never left his face. He raised a brow slightly. Ji-Hoon to Zehra, teasing. "Then why are you staring at me like that?" She hesitated. Zehra to Ji-Hoon, softly. "You always defend me. No matter who it is, you always protect me." Ji-Hoon looked at her for a moment, then squeezed her hand. Ji-Hoon to Zehra, calmly. "That's because you're mine." The elevator doors opened. Penthouse suite. They walked down the quiet hallway until Ji-Hoon unlocked the penthouse suite. The door opened. The moment they stepped inside, Zehra suddenly grabbed his shirt and kissed him. Ji-Hoon froze, completely surprised. Her lips were soft but determined. After a few seconds, he gently pulled back, looking down at her in shock. Ji-Hoon to Zehra, voice low. "Zehra, are you sure?" She nodded immediately. Her cheeks were flushed. Zehra, breathless. "I'm very sure." She looked straight into his eyes. Zehra, softly. "Ji-Hoon, I love you so much." His expression changed instantly. Her eyes shimmered as she whispered again. Zehra to Ji-Hoon, "Kiss me." Something in Ji-Hoon's restraint finally snapped. He pulled her closer. His hand wrapped around her waist, and he kissed her deeply and passionately. This time the kiss was slow, warm, and intense. His other hand slid gently along her lower back as if he was trying to memorize her taste. Zehra clutched his shirt. Her heart was racing. The kiss deepened. Then, suddenly, Ji-Hoon stopped. Zehra looked confused. Zehra to Ji-Hoon, confused. "Why did you stop?" Ji-Hoon ran a hand through his hair and stepped back slightly. Ji-Hoon to Zehra, voice low. "If I continue..." He looked straight at her. Ji-Hoon continued. "I might not be able to stop myself from making love to you." Zehra blinked. Zehra to Ji-Hoon, softly. "Isn't that why we're here?" Ji-Hoon frowned slightly. Zehra continued innocently. "You booked this penthouse suite so we could be alone. That means we are supposed to have sex, right?" She tilted her head. Ji-Hoon nearly choked. Ji-Hoon confused. "What?" She shrugged casually. Zehra softly. "It's private alone time. Don't worry, I'm ready. We can do it." Ji-Hoon stared at her like she had just spoken another language. Ji-Hoon firm. "No." She blinked. Ji-Hoon walked closer and gently held her shoulders. Ji-Hoon to Zehra, serious. "That's not why I brought you here." His voice softened. "Ji-Hoon, I brought you here so we could talk, laugh, and spend time together without anyone interrupting us." Zehra pouted slightly. Zehra to Ji-Hoon, confused. "Why? But in the movies, hotel room means sex." Ji-Hoon laughed. He leaned down and kissed her forehead. Ji-Hoon to Zehra, soft. "My sweet, innocent wife. That isn't why I brought you here. And this isn't a movie. But don't worry, if I want to have sex with you, it won't be in a hotel. It would be at home. And never forget how much I love you." She sighed. Zehra softly, "I love you too." Later that night, they spread snacks and drinks on the floor like a mini indoor picnic. Both of them sat comfortably on the carpet, talking, laughing, reminiscing. Zehra suddenly grew curious. Zehra softly, "Ji-Hoon." He looked at her. Zehra continued, "What really happened between you and your brother?" His smile faded slightly. He took a sip of his drink. Ji-Hoon to Zehra, calm. 2 days before my wedding, I found out my older brother, Ji Suk, slept with my fiancée. Zehra's eyes widened. Ji-Hoon continued calmly. "The woman you saw in the lobby tonight, she was that fiancée." Zehra felt angry on his behalf. Zehra to Ji-Hoon, How are you now? Ji-Hoon smiled faintly. Ji-Hoon, it happened 5 years ago, and I'm over it. Then he looked at her warmly. Her cheeks turned pink. Later, the drinks kept coming. Ji-Hoon could handle alcohol. Zehra could not. After a while, she started talking nonsense. Zehra to Ji-Hoon drunk. You're very handsome. Ji-Hoon laughed. Ji-Hoon to Zehra. You're drunk. Zehra pointed at him dramatically. Zehra to Ji-Hoon. You're my husband. Then she suddenly wrapped her arms around him. Ji-Hoon froze. Zehra drunk and dramatic. You should kiss me. Let's make babies. Ji-Hoon chuckled. Ji-Hoon softly. Zehra, you're drunk. Zehra pouted. Zehra, drunk and crying. Why don't you want me? Why don't you want to make love to me? Ji-Hoon. Am I not pretty enough? Then, suddenly, Zehra covered her mouth. Zehra to Ji-Hoon. I think I'm going to throw up. Ji-Hoon sighed. Ji-Hoon to Zehra. Bathroom. Now. The next morning. Morning sunlight filled the room. Zehra slowly woke up. She sat up and looked down at herself. She was wearing a nightdress. Her eyes widened. Zehra gasped. Zehra, to herself. Oh my God, Ji-Hoon, we had sex. She jumped up. Ji-Hoon, who was leaning casually against the wall, nearly burst out laughing. Ji-Hoon to Zehra teasing. Did we? Zehra pointed at her clothes. Zehra confused. My clothes changed. Ji-Hoon smirked. He walked closer. Ji-Hoon to Zehra teasing. Then tell me, how was I in bed? Zehra froze. Zehra confused. Amazing? Ji-Hoon raised a brow. Ji-Hoon to Zehra teasing. How long did it last? Zehra panicked. Zehra confused. 1 hour. Ji-Hoon burst out laughing. Ji-Hoon to Zehra teasing. Did you enjoy it? She suddenly looked nervous. Zehra, nervous and confused. I don't know. I think I forgot the whole thing. Tears suddenly formed in her eyes. Zehra voice low. I can't remember anything. I had sex with you for the first time, and I can't even remember anything. I can only remember the kiss, but not the sex. Who in the world forgets when they had their first sex? Ji-Hoon laughed softly. Ji-Hoon to Zehra. That's because nothing happened. She froze. Zehra softly. Really? Ji-Hoon to Zehra smiling. Yes. You got drunk and you threw up. Zehra blinked. Ji-Hoon continued. So, I bathed you and changed your clothes. Her entire face turned bright red. Zehra to Ji-Hoon. You did what? Ji-Hoon smirked. Ji-Hoon to Zehra. I bathed you and I changed your clothes. And I also saw everything. Zehra covered her face immediately. Zehra to Ji-Hoon. And you didn't close your eyes? Ji-Hoon gently pulled her hands away. Ji-Hoon tease. Why should I close my eyes when I'm taking care of my girlfriend and wife? She looked like she wanted the floor to swallow her. He chuckled and leaned closer. Ji-Hoon to Zehra voice low. And you were very bold last night. Her heart started pounding. Ji-Hoon whispered near her ear. Ji-Hoon, you kept asking me to make love to you, and you even begged me to make babies with you. Zehra nearly fainted. He smiled mischievously. Ji-Hoon to Zehra teasing. So, I think we should continue that conversation now, and am ready to put some babies inside you. She backed away in panic. Zehra to Ji-Hoon blushing. No, I don't want babies yet. He followed, pinning her gently against the wall. Ji-Hoon to Zehra teasing. But you ordered me to do it last night. You were so wild and freaky and not the innocent Zehra I know. Her face turned crimson. He suddenly kissed her softly. Ji-Hoon whisper. You amaze me every day. He rested his forehead against hers. Ji-Hoon to Zehra. You really amazed me every day, and I have seen sides of you that make me fall for you more and more. She melted instantly. Zehra whispered shyly. Zehra to Ji-Hoon. Please forget what I said last night. Ji-Hoon smirked. Ji-Hoon, never. She groaned. Then he kissed her. Zehra to Ji-Hoon. I'm going to take a bath. She tried to escape. Ji-Hoon followed behind her. Ji-Hoon to Zehra. I'm coming with you. Zehra panicked. Zehra to Ji-Hoon firmly. No, don't. Ji-Hoon chuckled. Ji-Hoon to Zehra, teasingly. Zehra. I already saw everything. Every inch. Ji-Hoon winked. She covered her face again. He pulled her hands away gently and kissed her again. Ji-Hoon, softly. You draw me in ways I don't even understand. Then he kissed her again, and her body responded. The drive back to the villa that night was quiet but warm. Zehra kept stealing shy glances at Ji-Hoon while he drove, and every time he caught her staring, he would smirk knowingly. By the time they arrived, both of them were exhausted. They went straight to bed. The next morning, sunlight slowly filtered through the large windows of the villa bedroom. Zehra woke up first. She turned slightly and immediately noticed something was wrong. Ji-Hoon was still asleep, but his breathing sounded heavy, her brows furrowed. She leaned closer and gently touched his forehead. Her eyes widened. Zehra worried. Ji-Hoon? His skin felt hot, very hot. He slowly opened his eyes. Ji-Hoon to Zehra, weakly. I'm fine. Zehra shook her head immediately. Zehra to Ji-Hoon, worried. You're burning up. She quickly got up from the bed. A few minutes later, she returned with a damp towel, carefully placing it on his forehead. Her fingers moved gently through his hair. Zehra, softly. You caught the flu. Ji-Hoon tried to sit up. She gently pushed him back down. Zehra to Ji-Hoon, firm. No. Rest. He chuckled weakly. Ji-Hoon to Zehra. Yes, ma'am. She couldn't help smiling. Zehra softly. I'm going to make you some soup. He nodded slowly as sleep began pulling him back again. Ji-Hoon murmuring. Don't burn the kitchen. Zehra rolled her eyes. Zehra to Ji-Hoon. Sleep. Within minutes, he drifted off. Zehra tied an apron around her waist and began preparing soup. The quiet clinking of utensils echoed softly around the kitchen. She stirred the pot carefully. She wanted to make sure Ji-Hoon would feel better. Suddenly, footsteps echoed behind her. She stiffened slightly. A cold voice spoke. It was Ji Suk. Ji Suk leaned casually against the counter. His expression was mocking. Ji Suk to Zehra, smirking. Well, look at that. Zehra didn't turn immediately. Ji Suk continued. The new wife is playing house. She slowly turned around. Her expression immediately hardened. Ji Suk's eyes moved over her body with obvious contempt. Ji Suk to Zehra, sarcastic. I still don't understand what my brother sees in you. He chuckled. Ji Suk continued. Seriously? With that weight? Zehra's grip on the spoon tightened. But she said nothing. Ji Suk stepped closer. Ji Suk to Zehra. You know, I slept with his ex-fiancée. His smirk widened. Ji Suk continued. And trust me, she loved it. Zehra's eyes flashed with anger, but he wasn't done. Ji Suk leaned closer. Ji Suk to Zehra, voice low. I could do the same with you. Her face turned icy. Ji Suk continued calmly. I know your little marriage is a contract. Her heart skipped. Ji Suk smiled. So, here's an offer. He pulled out his phone casually. Ji Suk to Zehra. I'll pay you more money than Ji-Hoon ever could. His eyes darkened. Ji Suk continued. If you sleep with me. Silence filled the kitchen. Ji Suk continued smoothly. And you leave him. Then, he leaned closer. Ji Suk to Zehra. If you refuse, I'll tell father everything about your contract marriage. The kitchen suddenly felt suffocating. For a moment, Zehra was silent. Then she slowly placed the spoon down and turned fully to face him. Her eyes were cold. Zehra, to Ji Suk, calm but sharp. If you think you can threaten me. She stepped closer. Zehra continued. Then you're completely delusional. Ji Suk's smirk faded slightly. Zehra continued, her voice steady. I love my husband. Her gaze didn't waver. And not even you can break us apart. Ji Suk scoffed. Ji Suk to Zehra. That won't last long. Because Ji-Hoon isn't capable of love. Zehra tilted her head. Zehra to Ji Suk, coldly. Is that what you tell yourself to sleep at night? His expression snapped. Zehra stepped even closer. Zehra, coldly. You're his elder brother. And you slept with his fiancée 2 days before their wedding. Her eyes burned with anger. Zehra to Ji Suk, coldly. Who do you think you are? Ji Suk's jaw tightened. But Zehra didn't stop. Zehra continued. What high horse are you sitting on? Her voice cut through the kitchen. Zehra to Ji Suk, firmly. You did something unforgivable 5 years ago, and you are still bragging about it? How shameless can you be? She pointed at him. Zehra continued. And you're still trying to make him miserable. Ji Suk looked stunned. No one spoke to him like this. Ever. But Zehra continued. Zehra to Ji Suk, disgusted. I think you do all this for attention. She shook her head slowly. Zehra continued. Because, without hurting your little brother, no one would even notice a loser like you. Ji Suk's eyes flashed with rage. Zehra continued calmly. Zehra to Ji Suk, you feed off his pain. That makes you weak. Ji Suk clenched his fists. Zehra's final words were like knives. Zehra, you're angry because your father approved of my relationship with Ji-Hoon. She smiled faintly. Zehra continued. That must be killing you. His face went pale with fury. Zehra grabbed the soup tray. Then she looked at him one last time. Zehra to Ji Suk. You're just a bully who enjoys hurting people. She shook her head. Zehra to Ji Suk. I pity you. Then she walked toward the door. Behind her, Ji Suk's furious voice exploded. Ji Suk to Zehra. You'll regret saying that. Zehra stopped at the doorway. She turned slightly. Her voice was calm. Zehra to Ji Suk. You can't do anything. Then she walked away, leaving Ji Suk standing alone in the kitchen, burning with rage.